Good morning, friends. Waking up to a view like this from your room already announces the day is special. This is Pirgos Adrakti Hotel, where we stayed in Meteora. Probably the best location in which a hotel can be in the village of Kastraki. You entered the hotel to find the reception, followed by the dining area, making way to a common balcony to find yourself encircled by these gigantic rocks. Meteora, or as it is locally called Meteora, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and in this episode we are going to show you why. After breakfast, we started off for our day's trip. We drove steeply down at first, crossing the Greek Orthodox Church Peter and Paul in Kastraki village, getting a glimpse of the snowy Pindos mountain range at a distance. Driving past some beautiful village houses and taverns, and then we started moving uphill and immediately noticed the monasteries perched atop the rocky cliffs. We were astounded by these massive rocks formed about 60 million years ago, shaped by wind, rain, and other natural phenomena. Meteora has evidences of human presence at least 50,000 years ago. Theopetra Cave in Meteora, now closed for public viewing, has the oldest known man-made structure in the world, a stone wall built approximately 21,000 BC. During the 14th to 16th century AD, 24 Eastern Orthodox monasteries were constructed in Meteora. 6 of them are functional still today. St Nicholas and Apostles, Rossano, Varlam, the Great Meteoron, Monastery of Holy Trinity, and St Stephen. We started our visit with the monastery of St Nicholas, the first one when you visit from Kastraki. Founded in late 14th century, this monastery is located atop a narrow cliff approximately 80 meters high. On the topmost floor of the monastery, there is a holy table, and you will find 14th century frescoes decorating the walls. And a breathtaking view from the top. Our next destination was the Great Meteoron Monastery, about 3.5 kilometers away. The most visited site in Meteora. The monastery is open for visitors from 9:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. every day except Tuesdays. First, you will need to get down a long flight of steps to the bottom of the huge rock on which the monastery had been built. Then you would go up even higher through a series of staircases cut through the rocks all the way up to the monastery. The entry fee to the Great Meteoron Monastery is €3 per person. The foundation of the Monastery of Great Meteoron by St Athanasius the Meteorite is the starting point of the organized life at Meteora around mid-14th century. The second founder, a Greek-Serbian prince named Ioannis Yosef, denounced all his royal titles and became a monk. he enlarged and rebuilt the original church, transforming it into a magnificent edifice. This monastery is the highest, the largest, and the oldest of all monasteries in Meteora. আমরা গ্রেট মিটিওরা মনাস্ট্রিতে ঘুরে ঘুরে দেখছি চারদিক, ফ্যান্টাস্টিক লাগছে। আর এখান থেকে ওয়ারলাম মনাস্ট্রিরও ভিউটা খুব সুন্দর। আমরা একটু ভেতরের দিকটা ঘুরে আসি, দেখি মনাস্ট্রির ভেতরে কোনো পুরোহিতদের দেখা যায় কিনা। Drenched in the splendor of the architecture, it was time to explore the interior sections. The main church of the monastery of Great Meteoron was constructed in the mid-16th century. It is dedicated to the transfiguration of Christ the Savior, an event described in the New Testament where Jesus is transfigured and becomes a radiant glory upon a mountain. Located alongside the north wall of the old refectory, the old hestia or kitchen has a large collection of copper, earthen and wooden cooking and other vessels formerly used by the monks. Visiting this ancient monastery was indeed one of the crown jewels during our Greece travel. It is amazing to think how the monks built it 7 centuries ago and accessed these monasteries without the staircases, which were only built in the 1920s. ফাইনালি নেমে এলাম গ্রেট মিটিওরন মনাস্ট্রি থেকে, কিন্তু এইবার আমাদের উঠতে হবে এই পুরো সিঁড়িটা। এই সিঁড়ি দিয়ে উঠলে তবে আমরা পৌঁছবো ওপরের পার্কিং লটে। The outside of the monastery offers a variety of collectibles which you can buy and take home as mementos. After a fantastic experience at the Great Meteoron Monastery, we had plans to visit the monastery of Varlam. ভালোভাবে দেখলে দেখা যাচ্ছে যে এরকম জায়গায় রোপওয়ে করে একটা কাঠের কেবিন যাচ্ছে। তো সেটা এখানে মেনলি মনাস্ট্রির যেসব খাবার দাবার, গুডস, মালপত্র সেগুলোকে কিন্তু এই দিয়েই তোলা হয় আজও। এখন বার্লাম মনাস্ট্রির সামনে, এটা এন্ট্রেন্স পয়েন্ট। The holy monastery of Varlam is the second largest of Meteora. Founded in mid-14th century by a monk named Varlam. From this bridge, you get a view of the Rossanu nunnery between the two cliffs. In 1350 AD, Varlam managed to climb on the cliff and established the monastery. But after his death, it was abandoned. In early 16th century, priest-monk brothers Theophanes and Nectarios reactivated the monastery. The interiors of the Chapel of All Saints was something we had never seen before. The spectacular 16th century frescoes, works of famous hagiographer Franco Catalano, covers the entirety of the chapel walls. আমরা ভার্লাম মনাস্ট্রিতে এসেছিলাম, 4টের সময় বন্ধ হয়, আমরা 4:10 ঢুকেছি। এখন বেরিয়ে যাওয়ার টাইম হয়েছে। We are just going out. ওদিক দিয়ে বেরিয়ে যাওয়া যাবে? তাহলে ওদিক দিয়ে বেরিয়ে যাবো। we found a gigantic 16th century oak barrel used by the monks for water storage over previous centuries. Running out of time, we had to take the exit. And through the winding roads, we drove towards one of the most famous of all monasteries in Meteora, the Holy Trinity Monastery. Tired enough to try out the tough climb, we admired its beauty from a distance. This monastery was featured in the 1981 James Bond film For Your Eyes Only, where Roger Moore as 007 was shown to fix ropes on the cliffs and climbed all the way up to the top, just to get kicked off by one of the villains. Well, we did not try any such adventures, rather chose to find some peace and tranquility. It was late afternoon, and finally, when hunger lit a fire in our stomach, we had to extinguish it by finding a restaurant. এখানে এফ্রসিনো বলে একটা ট্যাভার্না রয়েছে, ট্যাভার্না মানে এখানে রেস্টুরেন্ট। সেখানে গিয়ে দেখি কি খাবার পাওয়া যায়। We wanted to have something sumptuous and quick. So we ordered all the meat in the world and 2 little ice creams. Before the end of the day, we wanted to witness a magnificent sunset from one of the vantage points. Though it wasn't a great sunset on that day, we were transfixed with the entire view from the top. A unique, harmonious amalgamation of Byzantine architecture and natural beauty. The Holy Meteora is a monument of humanity that has to be maintained. The buildings of the monasteries seem like a continuance and a natural ending of the rocks. The Pindos mountain range stands like a guardian. The happy villages and towns beyond the unique landscape. The historic monasteries and the holy monks who call it their home. A tour isn't worth without finding the soul of the place. We took nothing but memories, and that was everything we wanted. The next morning, we checked out of our hotel and continued our journey towards a lot more secluded part of northern Greece, the unknown world of Pindos National Park. So stay tuned for our next episode. If you love this episode, please press the like button and do subscribe to our channel.